Happy Monday. This is Lynn, and it is Weigh-In Monday today. So I'm coming on to give you my results. I did weigh myself this morning, and I wanted to preface this video by saying that I know that I had a rough week. I went into this weigh-in this morning convinced that I had gained weight. My inflammation has been up. I don't think I've been drinking nearly as much water as I was. I haven't been drinking my San Pellegrinos. I tweaked my knee, which I do periodically, and so that has made me a little more sedentary because I'm limping around. And overall, it was kind of an off week for me, for that's for sure. My in-laws were visiting over the weekend. I definitely did not cheat. I ate carnivore, but other aspects of my life I could tell were different. And I think being more sedentary definitely increased my inflammation because it does tend to aggravate my lower back, which affects my hips. Also, we have this crazy project going on in our garage right now that's taking up all our workout space. Dave wanted to move these big cabinets that were just taking up space in our garage into his airplane hangar, and they were full of years, if not decades, of documents like tax documents, real estate purchases, all sorts of crazy stuff mixed in with some things that we would want to keep, like my kids' artwork when they were little and some other important records. So I'm having to go page by page looking at all of these boxes of paperwork. And so I've got this thing set up in the garage with a card table and boxes piled everywhere. And so we haven't been using our space to work out. So number of issues here that I feel really impacted my week, and just the time that it's taking to go into and go through all that paperwork. I'm just sitting there. So I'm getting up, I'm kind of stretched, trying to move around a little bit. But anyways, that's how I started my today, feeling like I just think I gained weight. And then yesterday we ate at this restaurant after church, and we did have just carnivore. I ordered some hamburger patties with cheese. It did have some bacon on it, which I maybe I've been eating a little too much bacon. Pork doesn't quite work for me like beef does. And it was delicious. It was so good. But then I ended up with a stomach ache afterwards, and I'm guessing that it's probably because they cooked it in on a grill with probably with seed oil. And with restaurants, often that seed oil hasn't been changed or cleaned for very long. Who knows if it was rancid? But I ended up with a stomach ache, and the stomach ache started last night, and I woke up with it again this morning. It's getting better, but anyway, so those are the factors that went into today. With that said, I was actually surprised. I didn't gain weight, but I also didn't lose weight. So the scale stayed to the tenth of a point, exactly the same. So I looked at all of the different details and found myself very confused and trying to figure out okay, so my fat-free body weight, which has been trending up, which is a good thing because that's mostly my muscle and bone, water, everything that's not fat, had been trending up. And it went down just a tiny bit, nothing to be concerned about. But I'm a numbers person. Like before I was a nurse, I was actually an accountant. So I'm very analytical, numbers oriented. So when things don't make sense, it really bothers me. So I figure, well, if my fat-free body weight went down a little bit, that means I lost some of that good tissue. But my weight stayed the same. So does that mean I gained fat? Well, my body fat percentage stayed the same. My visceral fat stayed the same. My subcutaneous fat stayed the same. So what did I gain to offset the loss of fat-free body weight? I'm confused. the only thing I can think of is that like I only see a tenth of a to the one place to the right of the decimal. So maybe there's numbers out here that shifted, but not enough to shift that one number I see. I don't know. I'm being overly analytical. Bottom line is that regardless of the fact that the numbers don't make sense to me, I didn't gain weight. And I feel really confident that I know why my weight stayed the same. I feel like when you don't lose the weight that you want to lose, the important thing is to really think about what might have changed. And sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's just, the body is doing what it wants to do at the pace that it wants to do it at. So that could be a factor too, but I think it's always important to at least think about, is there something that I did differently that was not a good healthy choice? Because if there was, then that could be the answer. And maybe if I had done things better, if I had drank more water, if I had moved more, found a way to move despite my gimpy leg, without hurting it more, if I had maybe not eaten at that restaurant. There's a variety of things, if since I'm working on a big sedentary project, maybe just get up more often, move. And instead of just stretching, maybe get my heart rate up and move around, at a faster pace. And I love to move to music, so I could easily just turn on a song and just kind of sit there and just kind of dance around and have fun. I love doing that, and it gets my heart going and it gets my mood elevated. So there are plenty of things that I can do to break what, this isn't a trend, it's not a cycle, it's nothing, it's just a flat line. So anyways, I am just as optimistic as I ever was. I am not concerned whatsoever that my weight stayed even this week. And this is a journey. It's a marathon. It is not a sprint. I have been living decades with excess body weight. I have had bad habits for decades that have created this and who I am. So it's not going to go away in just a matter of a few weeks. This is 5 weeks, and I'm very, very proud that I've done really well and I haven't cheated. And one thing we did is we introduced bulletproof coffee this week. So I've been getting extra butter. That's supposed to help with fat loss. So we'll see if there's just a delayed response, and that I'll start to lose more fat later. But I can't be expecting short-term results for a long-term problem. I know that I have to be patient and I have to give it the time, and not expect everything to, every week for things to be, like fat to be melting off of me, especially since I have to be so careful because I do start to exercise and then voila, I've injured myself again. And then I get set back. This knee of mine, I'm really hoping that this knee is going to improve as I get the weight off. But for now, I have to be really careful. And I did tweak it again. I was so mad. Like seriously, I was feeling so much better, and then I just stepped wrong, and it's all gimpy again. So, anyways, that's just basically the wrap up for this week. And I just want to encourage myself. I want to encourage anybody else who may be watching this, that if the results aren't really what you want, just be patient and keep doing the right things. Keep, sticking with the way that you're eating. And, the carnivore diet, maybe the pace is different with everybody. And so don't let it get you down. Don't let it discourage you. I am not letting it discourage me. And I'm just staying optimistic. Positive outlook, positive attitude means so much. And staying optimistic and motivated is super important. And I am motivated. So this next week is going to be interesting because the last time, it was a couple of years ago when I tried the carnivore diet. I did it for 6 weeks, and then I quit. So this is my 6th week. So if I make it past this week, I will have broken, I will have made it farther than I did the last time. And I don't have any intention of quitting anytime soon. If ever, I don't know yet. I'm still trying to, I'm open. I'm evaluating whether this is going to have to be a lifetime journey for me, or if there's going to come a time where I can introduce some different foods into my life. But for now, I'm going to just continue on this journey with carnivore, and I'm not going to quit. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful Monday and have a wonderful week. Hopefully, I'll check in sometime during the week with some update. Hopefully, I'll be feeling better. But anyways, have a wonderful week, and thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.